Usually whenever I'm just at work, on the road, bored out of my mind, just trying to get through my day, I'll envision stories of the characters I have. I have little I've talked about them before. I got little fuck, I dropped that guy. I got little Lego figures. I think they're cool. They're pretty awesome and unique to me. And I just envision like little stories with these guys, whether it be just cinematic moments or just just b-roll kind of dialogue stuff. I got a video today talking about maladaptive daydreaming, which is what this is going to be about. And they were talking in the video about how it's not a good thing. It's like, oh, you're using this as a coping to escape from reality. Sure. I view it as like I'm just making myself not bored. I don't really view it as like an escape, or like the way that he described it is like you're living your life through a character to make yourself seem more interesting or more important or more special, whatever. And to me, I can kind of see where that thought comes from, and I kind of see how some people may do that. They may envision themselves or envision like a superhero like Spider-Man, just man, the guy, the type of guy who's like, man, I am Batman. This guy. We all know what I'm talking about here. I kind of see it from that point of view, but I also like I'm just a very creative person, in general. I just have the ability to just imagine shit on the fly. I'm very good at lying because of that. I'm very good at just making up stories and just spitballing ideas and seeing what works and what doesn't. So to me, it's more or less just like a way to just think. I just all right, well, I have nothing better to do. Let me just like sit back and envision a big story in my head, because I do have moments in mainly my job when I'm just on the road and I'm trying not to watch TikTok while I'm driving. I'll just listen to music, and I'll just envision like a battle between one of my guys and maybe another one of the characters, or a character and a villain or something like that. I know whenever I'm here at home, I have no names for these guys. I have this character who has this fucking awesome ass sword I saw on Instagram. I'm not gonna say I made this myself. I saw it on Instagram. The shield I made myself though. But I have this character who has this big like plasma sword, and he fights this guy. This guy, his name is Starboy. I actually have a character. I have a name for that guy. He has like a lance with like star energy, and he has a star shield. I know it's cap shield, but you get the fucking point. I'm no. I just imagine these two characters fighting, and it's just something interesting to do. But on the concept of it being like an escape, I do like it does feel like an escape to a point. It's like a way to just zone out. I just zone out. I'm just like even if I'm just in my like just at work just sitting down, and there's nothing really going on, and I'm like just casually playing Clash Royale. I'll just envision these characters doing something because that's interesting. It's just interesting to think about stuff. I view it more in a way of like a writer who's coming up with ideas. That's what I kind of view it as, because that's mainly what I use them for. I'm in the planning stages. I don't really have a lot of time on my hands, but I'm in the planning stages of writing a book. So I needed just a bunch of ideas, just a bunch of just bullshit to spew out and then sift through and figure out what I like, what I don't like. So to me, I don't view it as like, oh, my life is so uninteresting. I need an escape or something. My escape is Overwatch. Tell you what. But I think maladaptive daydreaming is really just like human nature. I feel like everyone does it to an extent. I feel like to an extent everyone just kind of they imagine themselves as maybe some greater figure of importance, maybe just people respect them more. Maybe they do just envision themselves as a superhero. I know almost every guy that I grew up with wanted to get powers, you know, whether they would let themselves get bitten by a spider or they would try to shock themselves with batteries to try and get electric powers. You know what I'm saying? Everyone wanted to be that. So they wanted to be different and special and respected, looked up to, you know, held in high regard. And I don't imagine it's that different of a concept like as an adult just kind of daydreaming about like wanting a better life, wanting to be respected more, wanting to have more just power in general, not wanting to feel powerless in your current life, you know? Because again, I mean, it's also it is an escape to an extent. You are able to just kind of escape reality for a minute and just go into your own mind and live live through your own perfect fantasy, you know? I mean, for me, like again, I just use them as just a playground for my little superhero characters in my head because it's interesting, you know. I'm able to just sit back, not deal with any of the problems I deal with in my real life, and just watch, imagine. But like you know, I can just imagine my little original character Lego things just fight each other, and it's cool. It's interesting, and it honestly makes me just more upbeat. You know, I'm constantly just thinking of something cool, something interesting, something fun, something interactive, you know, something I'm not just allowing myself to sit through just the monotony of my day-to-day life. What I'm trying to say is that maladaptive daydreaming is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing if you're able to actively allow yourself to be creative within it and form such unique concepts and ideas to where you're able to build upon them either in the future or maybe you can just jot them down or try and make something of it. You know, all of the great works of fiction started out most likely as someone just thinking about it in their day to day. I don't imagine, however horrible she is now, I don't imagine J.K. Rowling just sat down at her desk, getting ready to write a book, and go, well, what do I write? She probably was thinking of the characters of Harry Potter, the magic system, the names of the locations. You know, she was probably thinking of those just in her day to day life. She's like, oh, like she's on the train. She's like, Harry Potter, that will be his name. You know, just allow yourself to be in your own creative mind so you can just experience it. Even if you're not going to do anything with those ideas, just experiencing them, allowing yourself to have that creative flow, I feel like that's a really important part about being a human. Thank you.